to the cloud. So we're now recording, everybody, and I will open up the presentation. Bear with me. There we go. I knew I had it open somewhere. Right. Can everyone see? I can't see everybody now, so I just have to trust that. Can you see Mike?
I can't see the presentation yet.
Okay.
Nope, can't see it.
Okay. Right. Let's figure out. You see it now?
I can see it now.
You can. Yeah.
Yep.
Brilliant. Right. Let's move everybody over a little bit. Oh, okay. Oh, it will come back. Right. Right, that's the one we were on. I had two screens open, that's why it's all going a bit crazy. Right, here we go. Right. So welcome everybody to the planet's natural healing solution, or the #1 healing solution by Natural Fulvic Vitality. We're all really, really happy that you're here. Thank you very much for giving us your time and your ears. Obviously, with just over the years, over the last few years, and especially in the last year, we've all been really sort of focusing on the health of the planet and its inhabitants. You know, especially with the human race, really looking at their health now as well. So, just like to just a little bit about myself. Who are we? My name's Nicola Brown, and I'm the founder of Natural Fulvic Vitality. I'm a natural health and practitioner for humans and animals. I started well over 20 years ago. Was diagnosed with chronic disease, cell abnormality, stage 4, and it really opened me up to a journey of natural healing to find the solutions for myself to, you know, rid myself of that chronic disease. So really, I studied nutrition, I went into pet diet nutrition, started working with animals, looked at my own health, went through various health crises myself, and found, you know, just was looking for the solutions myself to be able to, one, first heal myself, and then two, start to be able to share that knowledge with my clients and help them progress on their health and wellbeing journey. And it's been an amazing journey, which has led me into the discovery of fulvic acid minerals, was very much part of my natural healing protocol. And, you know, at age 37, it came into my life, fulvic minerals, and I knew from the moment I heard about it, I knew it was my life's work. It was like I've reconnected with an old friend. And many of you may even feel that today yourselves. Fulvic is a spirit. Everything has a spirit and an energy, and fulvic minerals has its own, and it's calling. Mother Nature's miracle molecule is calling us, and if you're here today, you're part of one of the team already. You're probably getting little chills come over you. So yeah, I'll hand over to Mike.
Hi guys. For those of you guys that do not know me, my name is Mike Daly. I joined Nikki probably about 2016, 17. I'm the co-founder of Natural Fulvic Vitality, and like Nikki, I also had some really, let's say, not pleasant chronic health problems through a variety of stressors. Now, my healing journey took me to Spain, and my journey's continued ever since then. Since then, after healing myself, I've helped others take control of their own health, which is important when you're working in natural health. And that's what all medicine should be like that. It shouldn't be that where you're just subcontracting your health out to, like, say, a GP or an MD. It's about empowerment, and it's about empowering others to take control of their own health. So Nikki had showed me fulvic acid, and I was hooked. I was completely hooked, and I thought that this is certainly the answer to a lot of the problems in the world today, particularly when it comes to nutrition. So I'll just hand you back to Nikki, who's going to explain a little bit more about it, and then I'll come on a little later.
So welcome to the world of Natural Fulvic Vitality, and I mean, this is the sister part of my company, Canine Angel, which I've been running for the last 13 years, and I've been treating and helping and with dogs and the small pet market for the last 13 years, mainly dogs, working with cats. I've worked with some horses and some of the larger animals, but really it's the time for us to start considering the bigger animals on the planet and looking at the health of our livestock, our farm animals, as well as the domesticated animals as well, because if there's anything I've learned from working with animals all my life and communication, I communicate with them as well, is that they are ready to help us in a way that they've never helped us before. They have helped us by providing us with their bodies, their skin, their power, pulling carts. They've served us in war, they've served us in hospitals, they've served us the mentally ill, the disabled. I mean, our animals do us a great justice, and they love us unconditionally, and they give to us just unconditionally with so much love. But what they really want to do, what they've really communicated with me, all of the animals across the planet, is they want to help us in a different way, and that's they want to help us with their poop. It's all about getting fulvic minerals into the animals so that they can actually poop it out into the soil. All right, because at the moment what's going into the animals is toxic garbage, and what's coming out is toxic garbage, and there's a lot of it, and that is the issue, really, one of the main big issues on the planet. It has such a knock-on effect on everything farming. You know, farming is where we need to really be looking at now, whether it's the small organic farmer to your large industrial farmer who's feeding millions, if you like, or thousands. Every farmer needs to know this information as well. And that's really where we'd like to get it out to. And we're talking people with small animals, anybody that's involved with animals. And let's face it, we all are. Because even if we don't have a pet, we may eat them, or we may just love them. You know, somehow an animal plays part in our lives. So that's what we're really here today. But our mission, our company mission statement, really is that we follow the laws of Mother Nature. And it is our mission to help her and all of her inhabitants heal and recover from human-made toxic substances and chemicals, because they are really what is causing these chronic diseases that we see right across the board with animals, humans, plants, the soil. Anything with a cell is suffering because of this toxicity. So fulvic acid is coined, or its nicknamed, miracle molecule. And it is the building block of life. All life is electric, and fulvic minerals is electric. Mike will go into more detail exactly what fulvic minerals is, but let's have a look at what it is the solution to. Just in summary, while we're here, as you can see, we've got a lot of pollution on the planet. So with this increased pollution in the environment from modern farming practices, you know, as I've just talked about, you know, there's so many animals and there's so much waste, and their waste that's coming from, you know, from the other end is causing mass gases and leakages into the soil, into the waterways. And it's what goes into those animals before it comes out of them, you know, and it's not just the genetically modified foods that are going in, it's their sprayed with pesticides. The animals then get sick and then have to have a mirage of antibiotics, steroids, veterinary prescribed medications all being pumped into them, flea and worm treatments, pesticide treatments, and then all the chemicals on the farm as well, you know, to actually clean the farm down, mass industrial chemicals usually. And these animals are just subjected into this toxicity. Now, what happens with our animals on the planet also happens to us. We're all part of the same thing. Our animals are our brothers and sisters. Heavy metal toxicity. Fulvic minerals is the solution to heavy metal toxicity. Again, we're being subjected to heavy metal toxicity. I mean, how many of us on the planet have got, you know, mercury in our mouths, mercury fillings, aluminium fillings? How many people have been vaccinated with aluminium adjuvants in them? How many, you know, what they're spraying all sorts of heavy metals into the sky to modify the weather. You know, heavy metals are everywhere, and they are within our body, and they are slowing us down. They are encasing our cells, so our cells can't function properly. Our immune system, I mean, the thing with heavy metal is that the heavy metal will almost encase a virus, and then the immune system can't get to it. So if we want to deal with viruses and bacteria and everything, we've got to strip these heavy metals away, so our immune systems can actually start working with them. Fulvic acid is also the solution to pharmaceutical medications. As I say, you know, it's just mass business, pharmaceutical business now in the world. Everything is a quick fix. Let's take a pill. You know, the cow is sick, let's get the vet in. The human's sick, let's get the doctor in, and let's see what pill or drug we can give them. You know, in our natural health side of things with me and Mike, we'll look at alternative solutions, because, you know, I mean, somebody like me was severely vaccine damaged as a child. I can't take, had a severe reaction to antibiotics the rest of my life. I can't take prescribed medication, so it forced me into looking at what Mother Nature could provide for me in the form of natural medicines that are found on the planet and have been used for millions of years. And hence fulvic acid came into my life and literally miraculously did its job. And I haven't taken any pharmaceutical medications for the last 13 years of my life. So I'm aware, you know, I haven't had a cold or a flu in that time either. So, and I've been taking fulvic minerals every single day, and my health's been amazing, absolutely amazing. So I guess I'm a walking testimonial. Mineral deficiencies. Now, when we've got toxins in the system, heavy metals in the system, stresses, all of these things actually strip the body of minerals. And mineral deficiency is up there with the toxicity. Toxicity and mineral deficiency are the two things that are causing disease within the body. And the third thing is stress. All three of those things will lower the immune system. Once the immune system is lowered and weakened, then we'd have to, you know, then people start relying on other outside things to bring into the body, like drugs and medications to do the job of the immune system. We're all about helping the immune system here, and fulvic minerals will build up all of your minerals and balanced with all of the right minerals. Because we know the census suggests that to maintain optimum health, we need at least 90 essential nutrients. Well, fulvic acid actually contains all 75 trace minerals on the periodic table. There isn't a food on the planet that contains every single nutrient that our cells need. Mother Nature's miracle molecule contains everything that we need. and Mike will go into that in the next couple of slides. We've also need 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 12 essential fatty acids. So as you can see, we can start putting this solution into many of the areas of pollution and toxicity within the world. Mike, over to you.
Thanks, Nikki. Now for the science part. So what is fulvic acid? Now, fulvic acid is nature's most useful byproduct, really. Right? So it's found in the nutritious layers of the earth, and it's found in humic shale. So it's made up of all the decaying plant and animal matter. Then thousands of years later, it goes in and forms fulvic acid. The fulvic acid then turns to coal, and then the coal, millions of years later, will turn to diamond. But the real diamond we're here talking about tonight is the nutritional benefits of fulvic acid. Now, what we have is, right, so what fulvic acids are, they're made up of all the basic elements of life itself, in plants, in animals, and in human beings. So it's made up of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur, but the carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen, and oxygen. Right, so everything is made up of these elements, and fulvic acid provides them all. So when you're going to, get supplements, everything in the food, I mean, in the food at the moment, what we're getting in more modern farming methods is, your nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus, your NPK, and that's the only thing that's in the soil. Now, fulvic acid provides all the known minerals, and it's all made up of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and sulfur. So they're made, as I said earlier, right, they're made from humic shale, and it is one of the main, it's like when it comes to farming, it's the main nutrient in the soil of farming, or it should be. In natural farming, they would make sure that all the nutrients are there, but sadly in modern farming they're not, and it's all made up, of glyphosate, which is one of the major problems that we face in farming today and in nutrition. So it's also the main substance for optimal cell function, right? So it's wonderful for driving all the nutrients and carry all the minerals into the cells. So it's also considered as like the ultimate nutrition. So it's got all the minerals, all the vitamins, all your prebiotics and your probiotics, and it's also it's wonderful for, like, anti-aging and what have you. Now, it transforms the molecular structure of water, so it dissolves in water. So fulvic acid would come in a kind of rock form. It dissolves in water very, very quickly, very easily, and it changes the structure. And what it will do, it will carry these minerals into the water. So if you're watering a plant, for example, and it's dying, which I have done, especially recently because I'm doing up the garden, and I've been using the fulvic to actually get the plants getting brought to life. So it's wonderful for that, and it's particularly good for the human body as well as the animals. So I'll go into a little bit of what the main benefits are of fulvic acid. Right, so what we have here is, right, so it alkalizes the bodily fluids. Now, people go on about, we hear a lot about acid alkaline, right, and how chronic disease cannot thrive in an alkaline state in the body, right? So, the thing is, I mean, it keeps the blood and the intercellular fluid in an alkaline state, right? So, like low blood oxygen, for example, causes blood, acidosis. And what we really need is it alkalizes the minerals, so it carries it and it assists with the oxygen, and to carry it into the body. So it is absolutely vital. So it improves your nutrient absorption and all your digestive enzymes. So it enhances the enzyme activity. So, you know, like I said, so it'll give you a lot more energy, and it's carrying all the nutrients to the right organs that are required. It acts also as a powerful, very powerful antioxidant. Now, a lot of chronic diseases are down to stressors, and stress causes, you know, free radicals. So the body doesn't know what kind of stress it is. So you've got your emotional, your chemical and biological stressors, but the body can't differentiate. It doesn't understand that. But what it can do is with the fulvic, it can actually work out, you know, it signals a stressor, you know, so the body will signal stressors, and the fulvic will help with the balance of the free radical damage, and actually help, you know, with you know, to carry again, you know, carry the nutrients into the body to enhance your health. So, you know, it's like the beauty of it is, we'll talk about detoxification. Now, people go on detox diets and they'll say, well, I'm detoxing, and you find they get sick. But the most important thing about detoxification is you must nutrify at the same time. And the beauty of fulvic acid is you can actually, it's like nature's dustbin, men, right? It actually takes all the garbage out of the cell and carry all the nutrients into the cell, and that is the beauty of it, and it is the only thing that does it. So, because I mean, so you're getting the full absorption of your nutrients. So if you go to like high street stores and you're getting this supplement, your vitamin D, your zinc, and obviously today everybody's thinking about enhancing their immune function and taking something. They'll say, what will I take for this? What will I take for that? The thing about fulvic acid is really, it's the only supplement you need, right? Now, I know a lot of people say there's no such thing as one size fits all. There isn't when it comes to synthetic, you know, molecules, because these synthetic molecules are not absorbed by the body. Like if you're taking supplements, sometimes you're lucky if you're absorbing only about 4% of the nutrients in it. The rest are all fillers. So what you've got to do is make sure you've got all the nutrients in and you're detoxifying at the same time. Now, it binds also to heavy metals and takes them away from the cell. Like I say, nature's bin, men, it just, takes all these heavy metals out. It regulates and gives strength to your immune function. So obviously the gastrointestinal problems that people are having just now, because 70% of the immune system, as some of you may be aware, is actually in your gut, and there's a lot of new science coming out about this. And so there's a range of nutrients with the probiotics as well that can actually help build the gut. So if you're getting a balance of the microbiota in the gut, then you're obviously getting, your immune system is going to be ready to go. So it nourishes your digestive system. So, and the other thing is, it's got silica. It dissolves silica, which is ideal for collagen production. So a lot of people have connective tissue disorders, especially diseases like fibromyalgia, which is the big famous one at the moment. Is people have actually got connective tissue problems there, and that usually is because of the lack of collagen, and collagen obviously in the skin. So we really need the collagen in the body for a connective tissue. It's also got antifungal and antimicrobial function to it as well. Now, it's like a lot of people have, there's a lot of fungus problems that people have, where athletes' foot, you see it, in people's nails and what have you, and systemic problems and systemic Candida albicans is right, and in fact 60% of us are going about with systemic Candida. It also helps with the prevention of any systemic Candida, and it does help to, maybe this is the wrong word to use, is treat, but it helps the body heal itself from all of these fungal problems. The other thing is it promotes a lot more restful sleep. Now, a lot of people have actually reported when they're taking fulvic acid, they sleep better, they've got more energy, a lot more energy. So if people are going to the gym, they can work out for longer, their rest period is shorter, but because it's carrying the nutrients into the body, into the cells, when they're resting, the rest and repair is a lot better. So they're getting a more restful sleep. So you wake up feeling a lot more refreshed and ready to deal with the day. So the regeneration of the body is wonderful when it comes to fulvic acid. Also enhances the cognitive function and the memory, right? So again, the cognitive function being, having all this energy, when you've got loads of energy, many times, you wake up in the morning, you're feeling a little sluggish, you're checking your Facebook, you're doing all these sorts of things, and you just don't know what to do with the day. But what happens when you're in fulvic, you actually feel a lot more balanced. So it balances everything out. So you've got more energy, and you've got a lot more, it's like, there have been studies out there that showed that it helps with, like all sorts of, cognitive diseases like Alzheimer's and what have you. So it is wonderful for cognitive function. Now, the gentleman that actually came up with the formula that we use is Nicky is going to talk about him just now. Wonderful man, and I'll just pass you over to Nicky and she can tell you all about it.
Thank you, Mike. I just wanted to say, with this sort of list of benefits, we could have gone on and on and on with it really, but we missed the slide, obviously ran out. But I can honestly say the very first thing I noticed when I first took a fulvic acid supplement called Vitamin Enzyme, which was of Peter Gooch, who I believe is here. Hi, Peter. The first thing I noticed was just this brain fog disappeared, just clear thinking, energy boost. I was just like, wow. And I had taken supplements all my life. I've been vegetable, and it literally changed my life to such an extent. I started sleeping better. All of these things started happening within my body. If you look into our ebook, we do have a free ebook. We have two. One's the fulvic solution, the other one's the fulvic solution for domesticated and farm animals. So we've got sort of a more detailed animal book. The other one's a bit more about plants, animals, and human health with fulvic. So please do, if you want a copy of that, email me at the end. I can send you a free copy of that. And we've got all the field study trials and pictures of me when I had my face full of acne. I was 35 when fulvic came into my life, and I tried everything to get rid of this acne, nothing would. And I took this amazing supplement 3 months and it completely cleared up. Within 10 months, all my scarring had gone. And I was just like, wow, it just changed my life. And obviously, here I was, that passionate about it, that I wanted to deal in it for the rest of my life. So thank you, Mike. The health benefits are amazing. Whether it's plant, human or animal, these things are happening as soon as the fulvic hits the body. So yes, Mike mentioned our dear Dr. William Jackson, who is the man behind our animal formula. The Natural Fulvic Vitality really started with 10 years ago. Hear me okay?
Yeah, fading a little.
Yes, so I started off with the product difference back then, but also the animal. Okay, or maybe slow a little bit. Is that better?
It seems to be cutting out. Maybe if you switch the video off, Nikki, that may help.
Just give it a minute, maybe it's saying. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Are you there, Nikki?
Yeah?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Maybe just having a minute. You know what the computers are like. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'll carry on. So yes, I introduced this wonderful man behind our formulas, Dr. Jackson, and sadly he passed away in January 2020 at the ripe old age of, I think he was 94, 95, and dear old man, who became really the world's, known as really the world's sort of expert on minerals. I mean, he's written volumes and volumes and volumes of work in his book. So I've got volume 2 and it's over 1,000 pages long and it's a beautiful book. And I just really got passionate about his whole vision of helping planet Earth with fulvic minerals. I mean, what I'm carrying forward his mission today, really, and my kids and everybody else here that continues with this mission is really sort of, you know, the vision that he had, that he came up with. One of the only and best ways to extract the fulvic from humic, because the humic's very beneficial to plants and the fulvic's very beneficial to the animals and the humans. There's a lot of fulvic supplements out there on the market which are heavily contained with fulvic and humic, or very watered down with fulvic, and, you know, sort of going out there and branding themselves. We do work with another supplier for the liquid drops, which we will talk about later. And, you know, I've ensured that I'm working with the best fulvic mineral products on the planet, because really it's about getting the best ones out there. You know, if you're going to do something, do it properly. So Dr. Jackson's and Johan's, who is on the call tonight, working with these two wonderful men to bring their visions forward into the world, and that is to spread and distribute fulvic minerals as far and as wide as possible. And, you know, we are so grateful for every person or every animal that has the fulvic, takes the fulvic in, and an absolute amazing energetic change happens within that person or animal's life. The plant, whatever happens, it blossoms, and then everybody around blossoms as well. I mean, it's a real sort of rippling effect with the magic molecule. Because once somebody says, you know, hey Nikki, your skin looks great, what are you on? You know, and I say, hey, try this, you know, so then they try it, and then they suggest it to their friends, and so the fulvic spreads. But here's a little quote from Dr. Jackson. He said, fulvic acid is one of nature's most powerful electrolytes, and when given to the humans, animals and plants, fulvic has the ability to balance the electrical chemistry of the cell, providing conditions for optimum health. I mean, he was a doctor, and he always said, I'm not a salesman, you know, but he came up with these formulas. He'd worked on the farm, he grew up on an agricultural farm, so he saw the problems that they faced, and he was an inventor. He was an inventor of solutions, and he, you know, studied what fulvic minerals could do and produced this amazing work, and has passed this work and this knowledge down onto us, so we can be the forebearers, if you like, to go out and really help this mission, help planet Earth recover and heal from all the toxic damage that we've sadly done. So fulvic minerals, he went on to say fulvic minerals works best over any other minerals because unlike chemicals, they are balanced and natural. And again, that is the main point of this. You know, as Mike showed you, these are part of the diamond process, the carbon process. We are part of the carbon process. We are carbon based as well. Everything that goes on within us is going on in the soil as well. So if we look at the soil, the state of the soil on the planet, it's in severe danger. It's also, you know, the health of the planet and the inhabitants is in danger as well. What, 1 in 2 getting the big C now, you know, so, and that's in animals as well. I mean, all of the animals that I'm seeing are, you know, dying of organ failure, cancers, blood disorders, epilepsy, diabetes. I mean, you know, the health crisis of the animals is just as much as what it is for the humans.
Yep.
So moving on, Dr. Jackson did a year's worth of field trial studies, and we just, there's again there's a lot more information in the ebook, so obviously, you know, we can give you a copy and you can read about the exact trial studies, what farmers and veterinarians had to say about what happened to the animals in their care over that period of year. But we've summarized it all with some nice pictures today to make it a bit more fun. So we're going to just go through those now. So we've got the equine trials. It's just a couple of people entering the room, so as you're joining, please, hello, Nicola Carley has just come in at the right time. She's one of our team members. This is our equine specialist on the team. So hello, Nicola, if you can see me, I'm really glad you could make it. You came in just at the right time. Because we're going to just about talk about the equine now. So I'll just move on with that one. So in the equine trial, these were the main benefits that were, I'll just talk a little bit in detail about what was found. And these were on, these are testimonials from farmers, not farmers, but the breeders on a stud farm for the equines. And also we've got some information from, it was tested on racehorses as well. Just because obviously they're a very high performance horse, you know, the breeding horses are performing in a different way, but using, you know, exerting a lot of energy, and obviously both of them come with very high stresses for the horse. So what was found in the field trial studies was the electrolyte balance and detox. You know, this is perhaps the first time an animal's ever undergone any kind of proper detox. And, you know, the animals really benefit when that toxic stuff starts coming out of their system. They just start balancing and coming out and showing who they are, you know, because as I say, they take on and they absorb a lot of human stress, you know, through our emotions, through our stresses, and then all the stresses of the environment and the stresses of the food and everything they're taking in as well. So give them as a real, you know, the detox, the calming down, the alkalizing of all the bodily fluids is the first thing that really noticed, and everything calmed down. Their mental alertness, the racehorses, instead of being really sort of stressed and they're still ready to go, they were focused, they were ready, they were calm, and they ran, you know, and they ran around. And what was noted at the end was they wanted to keep going. And then cool down time was a lot quicker, and recovery time well, there was hardly any injuries, and recovery time was a lot quicker because we're driving all those nutrients into the cell with the 44% oxygen and detoxing the cells at the same time. There was less bleeding in the racing horses. Bleeding is a condition, for anybody who doesn't know, that the race horses, when they race, they bleed from their lungs and comes out their nose. There was far less bleeding, almost to zero minimum, when they were on the Fulvic formula from Dr. Jackson. It improves the digestion, as we've talked about that. I mean, it just goes in and starts improving the gut health, and all disease in the body stems from the gut. It's where the immune system resides, so it improves the digestion. But again, what you'll notice across the board on all the field trial studies is that there was less food given over a period of the year. 20 to 25% less food was given. Now you think about the impact of that globally in all the farms and everything. 25% less grain or feed fed to the animals. We wouldn't have to chop down so much rainforest to grow these crops, to feed the animals, to feed us. You know, it has a knock-on effect massively. But obviously for the farmer, 25% less feed over a year is going to start increasing his profits, or his cost. It's going to decrease his costs and increase his profits, right? So they're eating less because they're absorbing more. They're actually absorbing this food. It's not just sliding through them. And of course, because they're eating less, there's less waste coming out at the end, and 20 to 25% less waste coming out globally. Picture it. How much could we clean up our soils and waterways and let Mother Earth actually recover? She's got her own immune system. But again, if it's, you know, everything's out of balance, if we put the balance back in and give her less toxicity to deal with, and we have less toxicity to deal with, then we're going to have more energy to do the good things and the thriving and the healthy things, you know, and because our energy is wasting almost just trying to clean up all the time. You know, who wants to sit in and clean their house? We want to go out and enjoy ourselves, you know, but the cleaning has to be done first. Improved. So yes, what was coming out of as well, not just less of waste, but less sticky, less ammonia, less smell, less gases, less cleaning time to clean up these animals. Again, less coat clipping, you know, because the coat was better. They said that there was hardly any coat clipping. There's less flies landing on the horse. And again, across the whole board, you will see there's just less parasitic activity when an animal or a human is on the fulvic. There's less parasitic activity going on. I mean, Dr. Jackson actually in his field trial studies also he'd got 2 fields where the crops were, the locusts were coming in and eating the crops. So the farmer was spraying pesticide on them to kill the locusts or keep them away, and the crops were getting more and more diseased. And locusts can actually detect a sick plant from 100 miles away. The sick plant vibrates at a different vibration to a healthy plant, and the locust can detect it 100 miles away. And the locust is the dustbin man. It's here on the planet to get rid of all the diseased crops, so we don't eat them. Right, so but what's happening is the locusts are coming and the farmers putting the pesticides on, and the locusts are coming and the farmers are putting the pesticide on, and then the situation's got crazy. What Dr. Jackson did was put fulvic on the crops in the field, and the locusts just flew over them because they were healthy. They were in a healthy vibration. As I say, those parasites, you know, I always say to my clients, if your animals get parasites, get worms, get fleas, you know, say thank you to these fleas, I think, because they're showing that the animal has another health condition underneath. You know, it's not just a flea problem. You can't just put flea treatment on an animal and say, oh, there you go, we've got rid of the fleas. You know, what was attracting the fleas in the first place? You know, if we dig deeper, we can usually find the animal's got some gut issue. You know, rotten gut, or its pancreas, or its liver, or it's something, its organs are starting to fail it. Hence why it attracts these things. So if we can put all of the goodness back into ourselves and our animals, we get less parasites, less flies land upon us. Now, the other thing is we have just had, you know, we've been, as I say, we're working, you know, with fulvic and horses and looking at a protocol that we can tackle some of these chronic diseases that these animals go through. And laminitis is a crippling disease. Any animal veterinarian will tell you, any farmer or any horse enthusiast would tell you that this can be a real issue, you know, and it can be a very costly issue, not just for the pocket, but you know, a lot of animals are slaughtered and killed because of it, because it either becomes too costly to fix or the animal becomes in too much pain and can't stand anymore. So it's a really serious disease. And Nicola, who I said is on our team and more of our equine specialist, has written an amazing article and managed to get it published in the Barefoot Horse magazine. It was in June's edition, so you can go on the website and obviously sign up to that magazine if you'd like to read it, or you can find it on our website, on our blog section. Just go into the website, go onto blog. There's quite a few nice helpful articles on there that's worth reading, but that is a real must read for anybody that's remotely involved with these kind of animals. And again, you know, go and read it, because you may know somebody who's, and they say, oh, my horse has got really bad laminitis, you know, you're about to say, oh, I know something that will help with that. So yeah, so I'm going to hand over to Mike for the cattle.
Thanks, Nikki. Now, basically what Nikki was saying there with regards to all the improvements and the reduction of certain problems in the cattle, in the horses, sorry, it's right across the board. Right, now this is obviously with the cattle studies. Now these cattle studies showed improvement in, you know, the feed efficiency, the digestion, the herd health, and obviously when they even took, you know, some of the some of the cattle that did have certain health problems, and then gave some of them Fulvic. Nikki will maybe even come in and interject a wee about that. She knows a little bit more about that because she's familiar with that study. But the general weight gain, you know, the muscle weight gain was so much better. There was far more butter fat in the dairy cows. It was, you know, 15% more. There was 20% less feed given. And obviously, as Nikki had said there again, it's like, because the nutrients were there, the cows weren't hungry, you know. So it's like there wasn't any overeating, so there was less food intake. The improved hoof health. Again, the flies landing on them, you know, and it's like, so there was less pests, because it's obviously bothersome flies for any kind of cattle. And like, again, Nick had said about the, you know, there are, if there's a sick plant or a sick animal, they will get parasites, they will get all these bothersome critters. And there was, you know, they didn't have them. And a lot of the studies were, you know, that when they were carried out, were, you know, were done over a period about, it was about 12 to about 15 months. So there was no antibiotics used. There was, you know, no medications, no wormers, and there was, you know, nothing to get rid of any of the, you know, the flies and that were going around them, because they weren't getting them anymore. So the overall health of the herd actually improved. So it's again, it's right across the board. Like, all the animals are affected in a similar way, and that is the beauty of, you know, using fulvic minerals in the feed of the animals. I'll just pass you on to Nikki, and she can tell you a little bit about pigs.
Yeah, the only other thing I probably got to add about the cow study trials was they did it that whole herd. I mean, mastitis is another massive problem within the dairy industry. Mastitis being infections of the teats, and obviously that can leach into the milk and to the products that then go on to be sold for human consumption. So mastitis can actually bring a herd to its feet, you know, to stop production. So it can be very, very, very costly for the farmer. And what Dr. Jackson found in his field trial studies was that there was a whole herd that had got mastitis infection. So they took half of the herd and put them on antibiotics, the standard antibiotic protocol, and they put the other half on a fulvic mineral protocol. And what was noticed was the mastitis within the cows within the fulvic completely cleared up 100% of the 50% of the start of the trial group. 100% of them were all better and the infection gone after 48 hours of being on the fulvic. And about 25% of the cows on the antibiotics recovered over a 2-week period. So you can see the difference in the speed of what's going on. And this is the amazing thing about fulvic, is it works immediately when you put it in the body. Other supplements and other things can sometimes take a couple of weeks to get into your system and start working and kicking out. Fulvic works immediately, so it's an amazing thing to be able to give a stressed out animal, or a sick animal that's just come in, that's just come down with something. It's get some fulvic into their system, and the fulvic is going to start helping their body to do the healing for them very quickly. Thank you, Mike. So yes, the pigs. Now in the pig trial study, this was a pig breeder, and what was really noticed, all of the same things as the cows and the horses, 25% less speed, less waste. Now what was actually noticed was the pig farm that was studied in America. The neighbours actually said to the farmer, after a couple of months of the pigs being on a fulvic supplement formula, the neighbours actually said to the pig farmer, "Are you still farming? Because we can't smell the pigs." So there's a massive reduction in the ammonia and the smell of the waste that comes out when the fulvic gets inside the animals. And as I say, I think this is, where the key to really helping Mother Earth is. If we can get the fulvic into as many animals as possible, and they then poop out less toxic and more mineral deficient poop, healthy poop, that will go back into the soil and start regenerating our top soils with the nutrients that they need, so the cycle can start again. So in another sort of 50 million years time, we're going to have some decent deposits of fulvic minerals on the planet. So we've got to think about ahead as well. We may be here, we may not be, who knows. But what was noticed with the pigs was their libido actually increased, and again conception rates increased. So there was more successful breeding happening within the farm, because they were happier, right? So they were getting down to jiggy a little bit more often. So yes, again, they were noted far less flies, no medications, or very little throughout this. But the main thing really that was noticed, as I say, was the manure that was coming out the other end was so much better. And again, they measured the cleaning time of the farm was reduced by 20%, and that's the costs as well. So it's just to remind, we are reducing costs of feed, veterinary medications, cleaning, and the farmer's stress. Because if he's not got all those costs going out and his animals are happy, then Mr. Farmer's happy. And Mr. Farmer is happy, then maybe a little bit more open to even maybe changing to crop growing. Now, one of the interesting, just a good point to bring in here, I was speaking to the Vegan Society. I'm a vegan myself. And we were talking about, they're trying to get farmers to stop, farming animals and move on to crops. But the issue that they have is that the land and the soil, it takes about 8 years to get back into good condition to be able to grow the crops. So the farmers can't do that. They can't go 8 years without any income. So, we've looked, and we could reduce, if we could put fulvic back into the farm, back into the soil, it could be a solution. We could speed up that time to 1 year to 2 years, that we could get that soil back in ready condition for crop growing. So again, thinking on a larger scale, how we can help farmers that maybe want to move from animal farming to crop farming, how can we help them do that? Okay, I'll hand you over to the chickens for Mike.
Okay, right. Again, so what we're seeing in this list here is basically the very same, again, right across the board. So there's improved immune response, the superior egg quality, let's say the hardening, the shell was a lot harder, and obviously, so that actually showed that the quality itself was so much better, and it was like a healthy egg. Again, less feed was needed for the chickens, because all the nutrients were getting into the in at a cellular level. The cleaning time again reduced. An interesting point to make is the chicken farmers had actually showed an incredible amount of profit. All the chickens were healthy, the fulvic was there, but they were actually showing more profit in the farms, because there was less, there was less need for any vets, to come into any of the farms. So there was, I think it was made of it, was $50,000 in profit was made, I believe, Nikki.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, so so the whole condition of the farm, again, less waste, far less flies, less manure odor, so there was less toxic gases, and just a completely healthy chicken. Whether free range chickens, obviously, that people are are starting to go towards more so, rather than these awful cruel battery hens. And like the farmers that are using the battery hens for production, because it's just it's a crying shame what these animals are actually going through. But even though nowadays there's a lot of free range chickens, they still don't have the right amount of minerals in the feed for them to eat, so that they're effectively still quite sick. So what we're looking at here is, again, right across the board, we're looking at healthy animals. We're looking at healthy soil, healthy animals. And then if people are choosing to, that are not vegetarian or vegan, it's about cleaning up the soil, getting them to eat cleaner food, healthier food, and whether it's like grass-fed cattle or whatever, it means that they're getting all these minerals into their own bodies as well. So it's vital that we try and get this message across, and and approach the farmers and show them that we've got the answer to healthier animals and healthier soil. Okay, Nicola?
I mean, I'm signed up to the World Compassionate Farming Organization, and what they do is they try and make the farm animals' lives better while they're in the farm care. And at the moment, there is legislation going through to stop the severe super antibiotics being entered or pumped into these animals, especially the dairy cows. And even the big supermarkets are now looking at the amount of toxicity within the dairy industry, and the eggs and things like that. They are sort of having a look, and the World of Compassionate Farming is really looking at that. So again, it's somebody I've approached, and we'd like to send them this presentation and get them to have a look at how they could incorporate this solution into their campaigns a little bit, because it's all about making these animals' lives better, and, as I say, cleaning them up. And while they're here, their life is valuable and important, and like I say, they really want to help us in a different way to what they've ever helped us before, because but we've got to help them first. We've got to help them feel better and feel cleaner and feel happier and feel healthier, and the knock-on effect has right the way through to finally us. So let's just move on to the domesticated pets, which, as I say, has been my area for the last sort of 10 years, dealing with Fulvic, with the small animals. And again, we're going to just go through a couple of testimonials after this, so you can hear what other people say about our product, because we could tell you how amazing it is forever, but it's what other people say. But over the years, I just literally have had people come to me who have said, you know, my dog's had this condition for 10 years, 8 years, 15 years, 2 weeks, or whatever the time length is. And I've tried everything, nothing would work. You know, been on your formula 4 or 5 days, and already I'm seeing amazing difference in my animals, and this is clearing up and that's getting better. And I've probably got 100 or more stories I could tell you about how I've seen this magic formula help the animals that it's come into contact with. My very own dear Annie, my old dog, she was the very first animal I tried it on, and there's a testimonial somewhere on YouTube, because I was buying off Peter Googe at the time, and he came around to do a testimonial, and he'd been on it for 2 weeks, and there was just this gleam on her coat. She was just shining, and I remember she'd cut herself. She'd chased after something and ran into barbed wire and really tore herself, a big sort of triangle patch about that big off her chest. And I literally whacked some of this fulvic acid on, and within days it just healed up. She didn't need stitches or anything, and it was just incredible. And I was just like, wow, I've never seen anything quite like this, you know. So but yes, really helps to calm the animals down. Again, you know, being the UK's natural dog whisperer, I've been called in to see many aggressive dogs, and you know, before Fulvic came into my life, I would just go and see the dog and probably, you know, nearly get bit, or very, you know, many times I did get bit or nipped at. Some really did want to take a chunk out of me. So I was like, well, let's put them on this stuff for a few weeks before I go and see them. And then by the time I went round, you know, they were much easier to deal with than to put in the new sort of behavioural modification protocols that I was working with at the time. It became a tool to help me do my job to do it efficiently. And, you know, by the time we'd put this in, and people would just be saying, wow, it's just, it wouldn't solve everything, you know, but because there's still a lot to unravel with you know, animals with behavioural issues, but it would certainly bring them into a really calm place where we could work with them. Again, you know, less feed, it changes the diet. We suggest moving animals onto their species appropriate diet, getting them off processed pet food and giving them what Mother Nature did. And I do training sessions about that. And this is part of the protocol we use is a detox. Oh, it's Tennille coming in. We give them part of a detox, you know, we detox the animal, and then we move them to their species appropriate diet, and we just see amazing things happen in a very short space of time, and many chronic disease reverse themselves completely in many cases. We'll be going through a case study of mine, which I really wanted to show you was probably the worst animal in the worst health I've ever had come to me, and we've got photograph evidence of the stages of how the fulvic helped to heal this animal. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But yes, whether it's, you know, we've got to remember this can be given to anything with a cell. So tortoises, budgies, parrots, ferrets, dogs, cats, budgies, rabbits, gerbils, rats, snakes, anything that's got a cell. A little tiny dose of this can do wonders for them, just keep them in great condition, and of course prevent that need for, you know, not have to give them these chemical worms. If you give them a small dose of this every day, their fecal counts will be clear. So let's just have a little look at some before and after pictures. This was a dog that I helped in. He was from Saudi Arabia, and they contacted me. And this was before. Sorry, my internet connection is unstable. Go away. Yes, it was bleeding. It had ear sores. It just was in really, really poorly state. It had all these big growths on its and warts and all sorts of things coming up. You see the condition of the coat is dull and dry and flaky. Well, this is just after 5 weeks of putting the dog onto a natural raw species appropriate diet, supplemented with fulvic minerals every single day. As you can see, we cleared up all of this, and he's just got a lovely shiny coat. His nose healed up, his bright eyes came back, and they were absolutely amazed. Now, they had spent over a good £5,000 with the vet before they'd come to me. They spent a couple of £100 with me, and we got the dog better. Again, the cost savings of actually using this product is huge. It really is. You know, people may perceive it and look at it and go, well, that's, you know, look at that, that's an expensive product, that's an extra cost. But actually, when you're comparing it to what we're taking away, the need for, again, you know, this little dog here had been treated with antibiotics and steroids and just had this constant itchy nose for a very, very long time. Just weeks, in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, we cleared him up nicely, and he came off his medications, and he looks all happy there and relaxed. Right, so just moving on to Bella's story. This is the dog that I was going to tell you about. I wanted to show you a case study really from start to finish, and this one is a very dear story to me. This actually, one of my students, she just, because I train people to do natural health and behavioural stuff as well, and one of my students, this was actually her first case study that came in. It was a very big one to come in for her first case study, so I obviously helped her out with it. But this was Bella, and she was literally dying when she came to us. She was depressed, she was in a lot of pain, and she just lost the will to, I mean, look at she just lost the will to live. She was really, really, really sick. Now, what had basically happened, her story was, she was 12 years old when I got to her, but when she was 2 years old, she went to the vet with a diarrhea problem, you know, with an infection in the stomach, and the vet at the time just said, well, let's put her on cat food, change the diet, put her on cat food, which is probably the worst thing he could have said, because cat food is much worse than the processed dog food. And then he just gave her antibiotics. Now, if at that point that vet had been better educated about raw feeding and species appropriate diet and knew how to detox a dog from the processed pet food diet and put it onto that, you know, if he'd given that advice, I think Bella would have saved, Bella and her human carers would have saved themselves an awful lot of time, money and suffering if he'd been educated enough to give the correct information at the time. But he gave the education that he was taught at vet school, and vets generally are taught that dogs eat dog food and cats eat cat food. And that's a whole nother issue that, you know, that is another webinar in itself, really. But anyway, so she basically, the antibiotics, you know, she went away on the antibiotics and things didn't really get better for her. She just kept scratching her ears, and, you know, the ear infection started, you can see here. And she just, the vet just kept giving antibiotics, and they'd clear up for a bit, and then she'd go back. And then she had so much sort of medication over a period of 3 to 4 years, she started to develop thyroid problems. So she was put on a really strong thyroid drug, and she had an immediate reaction within 24 hours, and all her hair started falling out. As you can see, she had these massive body patches of hair where she was ripping her fur out. She was oozing. I mean, it was such a toxic smell of, all I could really smell was of pharmaceutical drugs coming out of her. She'd been pumped full of so many. It was just, her body was just didn't know it was coming out in her ears and her private bits. I mean, this dog was just an absolute mess. It broke my heart to see a dog in this state. Now, this was actually over a period, then that's right, they went back to the vet because she'd had this massive reaction, and they changed the drug and reduced the dose, but kept her on these, and then started giving her steroids injections. And this went on for over a period of 2 to 12, 10 years. And in that 10 years, they spent in the region of £20,000 with the vet on vet treatment for Bella. And at the point that they called me in with my natural protocol, I was like, my goodness, you know, it's the worst that I'd ever come across. And I looked into Bella's eyes and I said, are you ready to do this, girl? And she said, yeah. She still had to fight. She said, I want to show you that we can do this. And she did. She was the most remarkable dog. And we put her straight away on a detox program, got the Natural Fulvic Vitality into her system straight away, put her on a detox, took her off the processed pet food diet, put her onto a raw meat and bone diet that a dog should, or a cat should be on, not any of this processed rubbish. And we treated her with some bioresonance therapy as well, which both me and Mike do. We did that over a period of 3 months, and these were the results that we saw. We'll just go through some of her slides here. See, these were her body wounds. You can see here in this slide here, it's starting to go black and dry up. This was the fulvic, and we were literally dusting the powder formula on the skin as well as giving her in. Because it's a very, like I did with Annie when she cut herself, dab, it can be used externally as well on skin. It's amazing. It contains kaolin actually, which is a clay, so it's got small amounts of kaolin, and so kaolin is very calming for the body. So yeah, she started drying up even more, and then for the first time in 10 years, new hair growth. You can see here all of this new hair started growing for the first. She'd been bald for like 10 years, and here all this new hair growth in the space of weeks of her being on this protocol. And you can see here she literally had no fur on her paws. All of her paws grew up. I remember going and taking these photos after a few weeks and just feeling so happy that she'd got her coat back and her look back. You know, because anybody who's ever lost their hair, it's a big thing on the self-confidence, and you could just see, you know, her confidence is growing. She started wanting to go out more. She was smelling the air. She was just, you know, her whole happiness came back after 10 years of suffering. And these were her ears. I mean, I've never seen ears like it. I mean, the blisters and the infections in these ears were horrendous. And again, this was just this was in 3 months we took to clear this, but all new, all good, all cleared up. Now this picture here was taken a week before she died, and I took this picture and I went and I looked into this little girl's eyes, and she said to me, I'm on my way soon. She told me she was going. But she said to me, just make sure you tell my story to everyone. Now, actually had Channel 5 come in and film this dog, and they were going to do a whole documentary about her moving from the processed diet to the raw feeding diet and come back and film her. And weeks later, and they came in and filmed her, and she was in a really poorly state. The TV company then changed the whole directive of the program and changed it into a documentary about all the different ways you can feed a dog. And unfortunately, Bella only got 3 seconds on the documentary. They watched most of my interview because they interviewed me, obviously talking about what was really going on in the pet food industry. Was, you know, they couldn't put that out on TV because the TV sponsors actually are these pet food companies. So her story never got told, and that's why I make sure I include it in all of my presentations that I do, because she, you know, she got her dignity back, she got her look back, and she wanted her story to be told to show that we can improve the animal's life to such an extent with joy in their heart. And this is what Bella's human had to say. She said Bella's interest in life came back, and not only did she regain her vitality, but she regained her dignity again. Her hair grew back and her toxic stench disappeared. Her sense of smell returned, and she enjoyed doing simple things like going for a walk and smelling grass in the air again. I can't thank you enough for providing us with the important education, for giving us the best ever Christmas with our lovely girl, looking and feeling so much happier and healthier. Thank you, Canine Angel. So that moves me on nicely to just some other quick testimonials, and then we'll move to closing up the webinar with some special offers. Those people that want to hang in for that. Hi, Mike.
Hello, I couldn't hear you there. Right, okay, so after 5 days of Terry giving natural pet vitality to her dogs, this is what she said. Okay, where do I do testimonials? I want to write about what I have noticed already with Buddy and Bella. I think this is a different Bella. Am I correct, Nikki?
Yes, yes. I get a lot of dogs called Bella.
I'm going to your website now to see what I can do. I'm certain loving your energy placed in this Fulvic has supercharged it even further. I went onto your webpage and did not see a way to do a testimonial. I will tell you here. Bella, my sweet golden, had a cyst on the pupil of her eye since she was 2. I've kept an eye on it, and what it does. It says, although I've just lost this here. Okay, I've just lost. I was on the big screen because of the eyesight. Excuse me a second.
So no, I was on the bed mushing her basically with the torch, and she got the torch. So yeah, I came home from work to mush on her and look in her eyes. And today, Nikki, I didn't see the cyst. I took a flashlight to it and I still did not see it. Now, Bella was 10 at the time, so she'd had this cyst for 8 years. So basically, after 5 days being on the Fulvic, she was mushing her dog. She was suddenly like, "Where's that cyst gone?" And it had disappeared. So she finishes, says, "It's only been 5 days on the fulvic acid and things are changing for all myself, my animals. I love you, your heart, your light, and your compassion, and all else in between." And, you know, Terry is over in America and she helps people out here and there with little bits of fulvic. She's almost known as the fulvic fairy now. So she's a good friend. We became good friends through fulvic. And that's the other thing. I've made some amazing friends through the fulvic journey.
Okay, right, so a little cat here.
19-year-old cat as well.
Yeah, a 19-year-old cat. They don't normally live that long, do they? What a great testimonial. I have to confess, I've never even thought about it, fear, anxiety, etc. But now I realise that this will be the reason why my lovely cat Susie, who has always been very anxious, she had a bad start in life, is so relaxed now. She would always run away when anyone knocked at the door or heard loud noises. Since being in Natural Pet Vitality, she still hides when someone comes into the house, but comes out much more quickly and isn't all wide-eyed and anxious and makes sure that they've gone. We have had building work carried out for 2 weeks, and this involved a lot of loud noise and workmen at the windows. I certainly know how that one feels. She's totally unfazed. Laugh out loud. She's 19 years old and looks much younger now and has a wonderful appetite. So really hope and thanks to Natural Pet Vitality that she will be with us for a long while yet. Benji and Molly are doing very well and on it and as well. So thanks for a great product. Love, Liz, Nikki, Benji, Molly and Susie.
Thank you. So Julie said, "Hi Nikki, I have recently tried Natural Fulvic for one of my rescues. I spoke to you via email about her a while ago. We have been using it for less than a week and I have sprinkled it on the worst spots on her skin and I'm very happy with progress so far. She would appear to be itching less, if at all, as I haven't noticed her, and the sores are healing. The blackened skin also looks less tough and is lightening back up. I will try and get some pics, but it isn't as easy as she's still carrying some fear from her past. So treat
Okay, so from Jennifer Webb, she recommends Natural Fulvic Vitality. We started using this 2 weeks ago in an attempt to clear up a sore, itchy skin and over-grooming of our cat has suffered since last August. I'm amazed at the difference already. There are no sore patches. He's stopped over-grooming his coat and is growing back thick, where previously he was bald. He's only half a dose daily as he's fussy and refuses to eat food. With a full dose, it still seems to be working miracles. Definitely worth trying.
And Lorna Nolan recommends Natural Fulvic Vitality, and she's put, if anyone's hesitating buying this, don't. It's possibly one of the best products out there for pets. My lurch are having terrible stomach problems, and my sister recommended it. It's completely brilliant, eased her stomach. I was bringing her to the vet every other week. She is 12 years old now and she is like a puppy. It's a miracle cure. If you buy from the Facebook page, there is a discount. I'm in Ireland, so well worth it. So we've heard now from all of the testimonials what a great product it is. And we wanted to thank everyone that stayed here till the end to take in that information. As I say, we will open up for questions after, and we'd like to, you know, if it is getting late and you want to get off but you want to talk to us, contact me and we can set up a one-to-one Zoom at any time that's convenient for you, so we can answer your questions in more detail there. But yeah, we just wanted to go through our product range just so you know what that is. We've got some special offers for anybody who would like to order some, and we'll be here for questions afterwards.
Okay, our Natural Pet Vitality product range. Right, now it starts off with a trial bag. It's 50-gram bag. It's $11.99. Then as you're going on to maybe slightly larger animals like your toy dogs, you know, and little kittens, so you've got your 50-gram bag, and your 100-gram bag is $19.99. The 300-gram bag, again for a slightly larger animal, is $49.99. Your 500-gram bucket is, you know, for let's say your larger animals like your Irish Wolfhounds or your Great Danes, we can use, you know, you can use the 500-gram bucket at $79.99. There's also so for slightly larger animals, so if you've got like a small farm, if you're keeping some livestock, if you're, you know, keeping some sheep, pigs or goats, you could use the 700-gram bucket, and that comes in at $111.99. There's also, again, for the same kind of size animals as the 1 kilogram bucket, or even if you're wanting to kind of bulk buy, if you're living overseas, which is obviously, it's more cost effective for yourself to buy a bigger lot because, you know, there's it costs less, you know, for the amount of grams that you would be given the animals. So that would be it's $149.99, and we also have the 1.5 kilogram bucket. It comes in at $225. So if you're keeping horses, you know, you're an equine enthusiast, it's great to have, you know, the larger buckets. Okay, so
just to add there, dosage wise is on the packet, and you know, we do the smaller bags for the smaller animals and obviously the larger tubs for the larger animals, just to give you sort of an indication of how much it really costs on a daily workout cost with this formula. Because some people can look at those prices and think, wow, that's a lot of money for a supplement, but we've got to think about it. We've got the fulvic minerals, we've got the digestive enzymes, we've got the probiotics, we've got the wormer in there, we've got the kaolin, we've got everything in there. So we've almost sort of got 5 different supplements in one, you know. So, you know, a lot of people spend a lot of money on different supplements to try and get all of those various nutrients all in one, the Dr. Jackson's formula. it doesn't need to be changed at all. It is absolutely perfect and it gets the results. So on a 1 kilogram bucket, for instance, we would say the dosage for a horse, we'd look at 10 grams. We average on a horse 10 grams a day. So a 1 kilogram bucket would last you approximately 100 days for one horse, which would work out at £1.50 per day per horse. For all of its supplementation needs, you know. So when you actually think about it like that, it's not actually a lot of money, because if you were buying all of those those things separately, your cost would be more. You would have more shipping costs to bring all those in separately. You'd have more packaging to dispose of for the planet. I mean, you know, you've got to look at the main costs to buy an all-in-one supplement like that. All right. Now, today on our special webinar offer, we have 20% off all of our pack sizes. So we will just run through those, Mike, if you want to.
Yeah, sure. Right. So we have, again, the 50 gram bag with the 20% off was £11.99, now £9.60. So again, that's for the next 24 hours. So we get the 100 gram bag, was £19.99, now £15.99. And there is the 300 gram bucket, which is £49.99, now with £10 off. We've got £39.99. And there's a 500 gram bucket, again, for your larger animals. You've got it's £79.99 with a knockdown price of £63.99. There's a 700 gram bucket at £111.99 down to £89.60. So that's an incredible saving there. And there's the 1 kilogram bucket at £149.99 and down to £119.99. And finally, the 1.5 kilogram bucket at £225 normally is down to £179.99. So that's with 20% off. So what we do is, if we do have if you place your order within 24 hours, so that would be really from midnight tomorrow night, and you enter a code.
We're running it till midnight tomorrow night.
Yeah, yeah. And if you enter the checkout code webinar20 on our website, which is www.naturalfulvicvitality.co.uk, and you enter the checkout code webinar20, you'll receive that offer. Again, that runs from till midnight tomorrow night.
And we will obviously calculate shipping on top of those prices and quote you that way. So we have another special offer today, which I wanted to talk to you about. Now, if you wanted to order a little bit more than 1.5 kilogram, because basically the price per gram comes down the more you buy it. It's just the way it works with everything in this world. So if you wanted to buy, say, a 3 kilogram tub or a 6 kilogram tub, you know, we start getting large buckets at that point. We can do both bespoke orders, and we can basically fill any container, any size that you like, and give you a price for it. All right. So, but we also do the next size up, which is the 11 kilogram sack. And this is obviously more for people that have got lots of animals, you know, lots of horses, lots of cows, lots of sheep, lots of pigs, or, you know, just wants to buy it in bulk and give it to their little budgie for the rest of their life. Anybody, it's just open to anybody, the sack. But yes, the 11 kilogram sack that we sell, we would usually go out at a price on that at 1,200, but today and for the next 24 hours we are going to give a whopping 25% off the first order. So we'll be looking at a price of £900, so £300 up there. We'd obviously calculate shipping for you as well, If you are already in America, we would just get it shipped straight from America to you in America. If it's coming over here, then there will be shipping, VAT and duty charges on top. But yeah, the bulk price would be £900 on the sack. If you want a bespoke order or a sack, you need to email me, Nikki at Natural Fulvic Vitality.co.uk, and we'll sort you out there. All right, so yeah, there's my email address there. Any questions, just let me know. Right. Now, just before we go on to the affiliate program, I just want to show you very quickly our 2 human products. We have our human fulvic drops here, which we're going to do probably a separate webinar about these 2 products, because you know, we want to talk about them properly. And we're coming to the end of our presentation now, but we did want to give you all a sneak preview of a new product that we are taking pre-orders on from now. All you need to do is contact me and I can send you details of these. These are going to retail at £19.99. We've come up with an immune protect supplement, and this contains fulvic in it, as well as the 4 main vitamins of vitamin C, D3, zinc and selenium. It's got probiotics in. It's like almost like the all-in-one formula for the animals, if you like. So we'll be looking at taking pre-orders on those. As I say, we will be doing more information on this, and of course our human fulvic drops. We have a few bottles left in stock. If anybody does want to order any of these on the offer, we could look at giving 15% off on the pre-order of this one. And as I say, if anybody wants a bottle of this, we will say, as a thank you for turning up, we will, and staying till the end, we will give you 15% off those as well. So yes, I'll hand over to Mike. Well, actually, I'll just talk a little bit about the how to join our Fulvic mission. If you're inspired by what we've said tonight and you'd like to get involved, or you've got contacts, or you think you'd like to get involved in helping us in any way, it's not just always about marketing and selling and promoting. You know, like one of our team members, Nicola wrote a beautiful article and got it published for us. And that's really opened the door up to the equine field for us, you know. So we're looking for creative people like that to come on with ideas about how we can open up different markets with our products. I mean, there's so much scope. We're looking for people to work with like that. Any ideas that you have, creative brainstorming, we'd love to hear from you. But if you want to get involved in our affiliate or trade and actually look at taking on, you know, either buying some stock and selling it to your customers or your clients, or just sending people to the website, we reward you with some commissions, of course. So, you know, it's a way to earn a full-time or part-time income, whatever you want to do, or just a little bit on top. Many of our affiliates as well just sell a few bottles to their friends and family, so they can put their money towards their own fulvic products that they, you know, that they're buying off us. I mean, I started this business off by buying 6 tubs off when Peter Gage was selling it back then. I bought 6 50-gram tubs, and then I sold those and I bought 12, and then I sold those and bought 18, and eventually grew up the stock level. So, you know, you can start with nothing, doesn't cost us anything to join as an affiliate. You can start earning money straight away. You join our Facebook group. We've got posts in there, content in there, banners that you can put on your websites, newsletters that you can copy and paste and send out. I mean, we've got it all there ready for you to go out if you're an affiliate marketer. We've got, you know, plenty of stuff that you can be getting on with to put out to your network, and we offer commissions on that. So that would just
and the interesting thing is, the good thing is, it's absolutely free to become an affiliate. So it's something that I would, you know, it would be worthwhile, you know, taking advantage of.
Yeah, and it's very quick. You just sign up to a little account in our affiliates. We basically send you out an ebook and tell you what to do. You click on a link, set up a little account. You'll get your own unique URL link, and then you just copy and paste that. And wherever you paste it, say you send out a newsletter, you know, you click here, you put your link in. It take them to our site. They order. We send out. We pack. We take. You know, we deal with the customers, and the commission goes into your account. So all you're doing is helping driving business to our website. So if you've got a website out there that people are clicking on and stuff, you know, we can even just do a banner that people can click on that and be taken to our website, but it'll go through your affiliate link. If you want to become a trade stockist, then we've got, you know, you can buy anything from 5 packs. You know, start off very small investment. You know, like I did 6 packs, 50-gram bags, and grow it from there. You know, and the more product you buy, the more discount you get. But we've got all of that written down in the Trade and Affiliates booklet. So again, just pop me an email at the end or tomorrow and say I'd like some details about the affiliate scheme, and I can send those over to you. I think one last thing as well that, like I say, we're looking for all sorts of people. You know, we are a small company. We are at that crucial stage of growth. We do need things like investment to get bottom labels and bottles and more marketing and distribution out there. So we are also looking for investors. So if yourselves or you know of anyone that would be ethically minded, that's maybe got a bit of cash to help progress our business, we would really love to talk to them as well, just so we can really help get this mission. And it's not always about the idea, the money that goes into it, it's about the ideas, the time and the effort and the blood and the sweat and the tears, isn't it, Mike?
Yep, absolutely. Can I just say that thanks a lot for coming on tonight. I mean, there's people on here from all walks of life and all professions, and I know that everyone is really interested and probably quite passionate about natural health. Now, whether you're a veterinarian or a chiropractor or, you know, or a nutritionist or a yoga instructor or whatever, fulvic acid is great for everyone, and everyone needs fulvic acid. And so it's like to get it into diet, get it into cells, and, you know, let's help, you know, let's take control of our own health and help others take control of their health. So thanks a lot for coming on. And when we do the stuff about the human products, we'll obviously give you a lot more information on that. So obviously you can contact myself as well with regards to the human products or any human nutrition. And you can get me at Mike at Natural Fulvic Vitality.co.uk. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. We're here for questions and answers. That's the close of the presentation now. So you can unmute yourselves, pop your hand up. I'm going to, I can stop sharing the screen now, can't I? We don't need to see my screen, I don't think.
Yeah.
So, yes, is there any questions? Just put your hand up or unmute yourself and come forward if there is.
How does Fulvic compare with zeolite?
Yeah, well, zeolite obviously is it will chelate heavy metals out, and it will chelate things out. But the thing is, what Fulvic does, it actually adds the nutrients in. Zeolite, great though it is, but you have to take other nutrients, because when you actually detoxing, you have to nutrify as well. So it's important to get it. So that's how that, you know, that's how it compares to it. So you're better getting the nutrients in and detoxifying at the same time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sorry, Nicola, I couldn't hear.
It's okay. Mike answered the question.
Okay.
Okay.
I just noticed there's a question from Suzanne's got, can you do private label? Yes, we can talk about private label, absolutely. Yeah, contact me about that. We could have a chat.
Hey guys, thanks very much. That was awesome. Just wondering about the human version, how much it is for the human version.
Okay,
Hi,
yeah.
Tanu.
Hi, Tail. It's lovely to see you. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 30 ml bottles at the moment. They're £22.22 they retail at. We've got some plans to do a 100 ml bottle. We're just looking at the possibility of doing a 100 ml bottle as well. But yeah, that's what we've got currently. And the other new, I mean, we really do suggest, you know, because this really covers everything to do with your minerals, and then, you know, it's good to have a look for a good multivitamin as well. So we wanted to be able to provide both really, and this one's come up. Company Foods, who I used to buy off, he's come back, he's gone away and actually developed this and come back, and so yeah, we're taking orders on this. This one's going to be retailing at £19.99, and that is I can send you some information on that if you want me to, or I can pass it to Mike and he can pass that to you.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. and taking it along with other supplements, you know, multivitamins, and I'm talking about just the fulvic acid. It's okay to blend the two.
Yeah, there's definitely no, you know, it won't affect anything. In fact, what it will do, if you're taking, for example, if you're taking a leading supplement, you know, like Cytoplan or something, what it will actually do is, like I found, because I do take the CoQ10 from Cytoplan, and you'll find that there's certain waste, right? So like a yellow urine, you know, that sort of thing. But what you find is when you take it with the fulvic, you're absorbing a lot of it. So you're actually absorbing the nutrients. So you're absorbing more of the nutrients. If there's something that you do take and and it works well for you, if you're taking the fulvic, it's actually going to absorb the nutrients a lot better.
Awesome, thank you. I got my sample, so thank you very much. Just started that today. Much appreciated.
Yeah. No problem. No problem.
Good to be back for more, I'm sure. It's a lovely product. Best to take first thing in the morning, I find, on an empty stomach. The first thing when you wake up, just put a few drops in, have it by your bed, down it, go and do your shower and everything. And by the time I come out the shower, I'm literally buzzing. You know, I mean, I gave up coffee a long time ago, but it's my wake up juice.
Mike's probably not told you, but you can see I was swimming, wild swimming, and I've been affected by I think it's a parasite in the water. It's called swimmer's itch. Quite interested to yes, it's been a week now, so I just started taking it today, so I'm going to put it on topically as well. It's quite interesting what you said about the
animal one would actually be really good to put on that as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's just, you know, maybe get a little 50-gram bag, you won't need a lot, and just get a really you know, like those face brushes.
Yeah,
very soft with this, you know, like the baby brushes. Get a clean one of them, or a brush, and just dip it in the powder and then circular motions.
Yeah, so it's on
work
fire.
It in, and it's so soothing. Yeah, you really could do with it. You haven't got any up there, Mike, have you, at the moment?
I don't have any of the animal up here, but if you want to send some over.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you very much.
For you, because put that on, it will just. You're welcome.
Lovely. All right, thanks guys. Much appreciated.
Thanks to Neil.
Andrew says thank you.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi. If you need to drop out, please just do. Don't feel like you've got to hang on. If you've asked your question and you've got everything done, please just do drop out.
Will do.
Take care.
Anyone else want to? Bye.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else got any questions?
Thanks,
Thank
Neil.
you.
Anyone?
Anyone?
I might have missed this earlier, but what's the shelf life of the pet product?
I'll bring a cooler in.
Shelf life comes with 2 years.
I'm sorry?
It comes with a good 2 years. Each batch that comes in has a different lot number and a different sequence. But as long as it's kept in room temperature, because of the live probiotics, digestive enzymes, as long as it's kept in a sealed container, out of direct sunlight, usual storage containers, it's got 2 years life on it.
Thank you.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
Lindsay.
How do you, just a little question actually for you, Lindsay, how do you see that fitting into your work as a solution?
I don't have my own practice, but I can definitely share it with clients here that I do see. And yeah, I care a lot about nutrition and supplements, and especially for chronic things, allergies is a huge one, to steer away from medicine that's a band-aid and actually heal the animal is fantastic.
Yeah. So do you think it will be accepted into your practice as a solution?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only here part-time, but definitely I think people would be open-minded. I've been here for 7 years, so I have a lot of clients that they just know me personally at this point.
Yeah, trust you.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have them use something like this at the sanctuary where I work. And they talk about being really open-minded, but they're not. Like, I brought other things to the table, and they just, they want to do what they are comfortable with and what they've already been doing, even if it's not the most effective or the most natural. But
Yeah.
I think, like anything, is start using it yourself with people who are open-minded to get the results, because those people then may go to the sanctuary and then tell them about it, and then they've heard it from you and they've heard it from somewhere else, and they'll be like going, oh, we need to get some of this stuff. So
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely the truth. I have another supplement company. I don't know if Mike has given you any information, but that I've worked with for a couple of years now. Well, it'll be 2 years next month. And it's just like that. It's like, I've been using it, and I have like some family members using it and some friends using it. But, even places where I've been working and they know me and they trust me, and not everybody's just ready to like try something that's out of their comfort zone.
Yeah. I think Sandy had her hand up.
It might help if I unmuted myself, unless we want to work with telepathy here. Right. So let's try this again. So I didn't quite catch, because it kind of went garbly on my end. When is the human one coming, or is it available now?
Right, the new one, the pack one, immune support, is coming very soon. However, you can use, we do have some stock of the bottle of the alkaline fulvic, which was the little brown bottle, the 30 ml bottle. So that is available now.
Okay. So do I get it? Well, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow, so I'll just talk to you about it tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Sandy. No, that's fine.
And then we could put it up in She-Wolf too, no?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
We could even put up the affiliate link in the She-Wolf. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Get that onto the site. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want to take up everybody's time, so I'll talk to you a bit about it tomorrow, if that's cool with you.
Okay, love. Right, thanks, Sandy. Thanks for dropping by, and I hope you enjoy the webinar.
I did. I found it interesting. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to shoot here because I'm waiting for another call coming in a few minutes. And thanks so much for inviting me. I did enjoy it. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Hi, Nikki.
Bye-bye.
Hello. It was Nikki was on the line there. Oh, there she is. I think she's back. Is she back? No. Yep, there you are. You're back. Can't hear you, Nikki.